from a leadership perspective, should we really be using, going forward, should we be really using capitalism as an operating system, something that we will base our decisions on? If we have a look at the decision-making process, Dr. Ian McGilchrist works quite good on this because he talks about left and right hemispheres. If you imagine that we have a goal which is basically a profit motive, then what we tend to have, we've all got these four basic intelligences. We're all cognitive, behavioural, emotional and social. And so Dr. Ian McGilchrist says that, the left-hand side is mainly about compete and control, and the right-hand side would be more sort of, it's like the devil's advocate, it's more creative collaboration, and it would always ask, as I say, the devil's advocate of asking, well, what else is there? But the way we make decisions in the business world is that we have a goal of to achieve something. There's a motivation there, and what we'll do, first of all, we'll have a bit of a brainstorming thing. So we talk about, in design thinking, we talk about divergent thinking, then convergent, then emergent. So in the divergent stage, big picture, blue sky thinking, brainstorming, we come up with a set of options about how to achieve our goal. And then from there, and what should be known is that in the business world, we like certainty. Okay, it's all linear, certainty. But down here, it's more unpredictable. And as I said before, the right-hand brain can deal more with unpredictability, but the left-hand side, left brain, which is all about compete and control, really, wants something that's certain and predictable. And so, go back to this bit, the divergent thinking phase leads to options, but we want to get out of this unpredictable bit. We don't like being here. We don't like being told no or to think deeper than that. And what we want to do is just make up here and decide on which option's the best one, then make a plan of action. Plan of action. And then what do we do when we've got a plan of action? We invariably go straight into action, the plan. Okay, so we take action. But we often find that the first right answer isn't the best right answer, if it's the right answer at all. So what we do, we just adopt it, because no one likes being vulnerable. But leaders don't like being vulnerable. They don't like letting other people be right. And as a result of that, they tend not to accept reality. But anyway, so we make some symptomatic solution here. We just adapt the plan, adapt what we're doing, symptomatic solution. And then, later on we find out, well, that's not working either. But we're into sunk cost bias now. So with our reputation, as a leader's reputation is at hand, and we're also driven by the goal here. So the goal is to make money. We don't make money if we start changing our minds. So we carry on. But anyway, this goes on and on and on and on. And of course, like any bad decision that's it ends up with a bad outcome. That's how we end up in the Middle East for 20 years. It was a bad decision in the first place, but we carried on, and we just carried on and on and on, and then didn't get where we wanted to get to. Eventually, we left that situation, and you see that a lot with centralised dogmatic decisions like HS2 and stuff like that. But as you can see from this, what's actually missing. So, this is cognitive intelligence, behavioural intelligence, social intelligence. But what's missing is this bit here, isn't it? You can see this bit. And this would be emotional intelligence. We often hear about leadership having to have more emotional intelligence. But what it is the ecology check. It's all about relationships. And what we need more of in our decision making is ecology checks. So it's really like what I call a crap filter. We need to filter the crap. We have to think more about if we come up with a plan of action, instead of just diving into the plan because it fits the goal, we need to ask, well, what are the real consequences of this? What are the real consequences? What are the real costs? What are the assumptions that we're making? And what do people and the planet think? We take the Middle East, for instance, consequences. Well, there was a million people died and we didn't win the war. The consequences, it's caused us more problems than it was well worth. What were the real costs? Well, it cost about $1 trillion. It costs us trillions, and we end up leaving billions worth of technical kit in the hands of extremists. What are the assumptions? That we could just go over there and conquer the Middle East? That didn't work. And what did people on the planet think? Well, the planet would certainly, if it had a voice, wouldn't agree to bombing the planet. And a lot of people objected to wars, and they still do object to wars. So that's what you can see. That's why if you use an operating system which is just driven by the motivation of earning a profit, some people earned a lot of money out of bad decisions. But it's not necessarily the right decisions moving forward. What we need to do is ecology check. As I said, the right-hand brain is more of a devil's advocate and goes things like, who else should we ask and what else could we do? And I think we need to spend more time in that unpredictable zone. Otherwise, we'll keep on making bad decisions.